Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, last weekend, whilst Jeremy Corbyn was in the midst of his headline speech at the Labour Live Festival, an anti-Brexit campaign group, Our Future, Our Choice, had a plan up their sleeve. They unveiled a banner in the crowd which read, "Stop backing Brexit," supposedly aimed at the Labour leadership, and it has ruffled some feathers in the party. They were removed from the festival, and some pro-Jeremy Corbyn supporters have said they are a front for other parties funded by elite interests. Well, Our Future, Our Choice have said they are a small grassroots organisation reliant on small donations. They say they are long-standing members and supporters of the Labour Party, but want to make a democratic case for opposing Brexit. Well, we're joined now by Aaron Bastani, who is a Jeremy Corbyn supporter and co-founder of Novara Media, and by Tess Milligan from Our Future, Our Choice. Welcome to both of you. Tess, what happened then when you unveiled the banner?
Well, I wasn't there. All of my colleagues were. But they unveiled the banner. There were two banners, actually. One of them was taken and never given back. We still haven't seen it. But the other one, which is the one that's shown in the footage, Stop Backing Brexit, was unfurled to a sort of mixed reaction from the crowd. My colleagues then unrolled the banner, left the crowd and were asked to leave and were escorted off the premises.
Right, why asking people to leave at a Labour Live concert?
Well, I mean, I wasn't in charge of the security on the day, I'm afraid.
No, but I mean, don't avoid the question. Should they have been told to leave? I mean, it's a Labour event. These are Labour Party supporters.
It's causing a public nuisance, I suppose, so yeah, why not?
Why is it causing a public nuisance?
I mean, that's what they were doing. People had gone to the event to see Jeremy Corbyn, to listen to these wonderful bands that were playing. One of them's got 800 million listens on Spotify. Big acts. I had the privilege of being in the literary tent. Everybody was having fun, and this just seemed at odds with the whole feel and point of the festival.
Why don't you like them?
No, I like them. I was actually talking to your colleague outside earlier. I think they're authentic. I think they believe in what they're doing, but I think they've been used, as I've said elsewhere, by elite interests. And I think people like Alistair Campbell see a convergence between what you want and what they want, and that's why you're ensconced in Millbank Tower, and you're funded by the likes of Better for Britain,
Well, can
Open
I just
Britain,
stop you there, because that's
the European
not
movement.
true. You've alleged on Twitter some sort of grand conspiracy theory that we're backed by big Tory donors and we're linked to Peter Mandelson and Lord Heseltine, when actually we're a crowd-funded organisation. You can find our crowdfunders online. The average donation is £30. We've raised almost 40 grand for our crowdfunders.
Very impressive.
Thanks, you're welcome to donate. But the fact is, you've presented this groundbreaking research on other organisations and where they get their funding from. We're Our Future, Our Choice. We're an autonomous organisation.
Where did you walk from today to come to the studio?
I came from home. I work from home.
OK, so you don't work at the first floor of Millbank Tower?
No, I don't.
That's where our Future, Our Choice is based.
Well, I'm telling you, I work from home. A lot of my colleagues do as well.
Would you want to apologise for misrepresenting this organisation?
Everything I said was entirely true.
Well, you're funded, are you, by the likes of the organisations that Aaron Bastani...
They have a
Millbank
Millbank office.
office.
What grassroots organisation?
Let her
There is more available desk space in this Millbank studio than there is,
there is a Millbank
at that office in Millbank Tower, which is owned by, I think, the European movement.
That's right. Headed by Stephen Durrell, former Tory minister.
OK, fantastic.
So you're attacking here. You're playing the man, not the ball here. So you have nothing against them actually standing up for a position on Brexit that just doesn't chime with Jeremy Corbyn. You want to just have a go about how they're funding and call them elite.
I personally disagree with their position politically, but I also think it's utterly disingenuous to present yourself as a grassroots organisation when you're sharing an office with Best for Britain, Open Britain, the European movement, which are headed up by ex-Liberal Democrat special advisors and a former Tory cabinet minister.
But
that's not grassroots.
Do you support the Labour Party?
I am a Labour Party member. A lot of my colleagues are Labour supporters, and actually this is why you're so determined to make people think that we're not a grassroots movement, because 8 in 10 of the grassroots Labour membership back a people's vote, and the Labour leadership doesn't reflect that, and Labour's Brexit policy doesn't reflect that, and that's what we're trying to highlight. And you don't like it. You're trying to make out that we're some some AstroTurf organisation, which is, you know,
That's
a
right.
word I heard
Why are
for
you
the first
smearing
time
them?
in 48 hours.
Are you not
they
big
are
enough? Are you not big enough to include this message in the Labour Party?
Well, look, we had 2 leadership votes in Labour since 2015. Jeremy Corbyn won both of them on a position, the second one in particular, of not stopping Brexit. That was Owen Smith's position. He got utterly hammered.
I backed Jeremy Corbyn in both of those leadership elections. I
we haven't got
admire
any
him greatly.
documentary
I
evidence of that,
admire
so-
him greatly. Sorry?
We haven't got any documentary evidence of that. I'm quite circumspect generally of organisations which try guerrilla marketing tactics at political party events when they share offices with other political party members from the Tories, from the Liberal
I'm
Democrats.
sorry, but you're now questioning whether or not I backed Jeremy Corbyn in both leadership elections. I think both of my trade union general secretary grandfathers are rolling with laughter in their graves at the suggestion that I'm not old Labour, that I'm not a Labour member.
You share an office with
as many of my
organisations
colleagues are
headed
Labour
up by Lib
supporters.
Dems and Tories.
And this is the crisis
I'm not naive.
Hang on,
the
Aaron.
crisis that Labour have at the moment, is that the leadership and their Brexit policy does not reflect the membership, the majority of whom back a people.
And I thought Jeremy Corbyn and you and your colleagues were all about members and voters, and we know, because the statistics back it up, that many of those members and voters want to see a second people's vote. So are you just becoming anti-democratic?
No, I'm not opposed to a second referendum.
Well, then why not let them come to Labour Live?
No. On a number of choices, and let's be real, the second referendum here is about stopping Brexit. You only have to look at Alistair Campbell's Twitter feed to say, oh, if these young people had been in charge of the referendum, we would have won, etc., etc.
So are all these Labour members and voters wrong?
No. Look, Labour won an extra 3.5 million votes last general election on a brilliant manifesto. He talked to the average Labour Party member. Maybe I'm entirely...
And what do they feel on Brexit?
What they say is, we want as soft a Brexit as the British people will consent to. And we trust Jeremy Corbyn, but we will not sacrifice the economic policies in the 2017 manifesto to side with the likes of Alistair Campbell in this car crash campaign.
I mean, this sounds like a hatred of Alistair Campbell over and above everything else, which
Mandelson.
maybe... All right, and Peter Mandelson.
This is the legitimate concerns of the majority of Labour members, that the leadership's views do not reflect the membership's views. The Labour Party is a democratic party. It's meant to reflect the views of the grassroots membership. And this is what we're highlighting at Labour Live. You described our peaceful protest as a public nuisance. And actually, you know, one of the things I like about Jeremy Corbyn is his history of peaceful protest. And I find it remarkable that, you bring up Alistair Campbell. I mean, I think, we've made it pretty clear we're not these sort of astroturfing Tory with elite interests. But I know that the next line of attack will be, oh, you're all on the hard right of the Labour Party.
No, I don't really mind what your politics are. I'm talking about who you're aligned with. Like I said, I don't doubt your authenticity. Who you're aligned with,
all right,
I think, critically undermines your message.
Can I just do you trust Jeremy Corbyn? Do you think that he will, in the end, allow a second vote, a people's vote, or will, in the end, back, although they've said they absolutely won't, remaining in the single market in any way?
I'm not sure. It's very difficult when, even at the NEC, it's very difficult to even start a debate on Brexit because people don't want to talk about it. And it's people like Aaron that want to shut down the debate in Labour, that actually, we've presented a protest which you've responded to with no substance, no debate about Brexit. You've only slung, mud at us and insults.
Have you ever held a banner? Have you ever held a banner at a protest?
I've done far worse than holding banners at protests.
Don't tell us what you've done that's far worse. So, I mean, were you a public nuisance?
Probably.
All right. On that, we'll leave it. Thank you both for coming in.